And I'm joined live from Kiev by resident Denis Kish. Denis, thank you for joining us today. I know this must be a very stressful experience for you. Can you tell us what exactly does today's news mean for you and the people of Kiev?
Well, today in the morning at 4 o'clock in the morning, everybody started hurrying up because we heard some sirens going on around the city, and everybody was starting hurrying and getting ready with all their fire packs, getting into the cars. And a lot of panic is being pushed on us because the troops are invading or trying to invade Ukraine from all over the country, from southern, from eastern, and from the northern border. They are fighting all the posts of our soldiers on the border of Ukraine. And right now, as of this minute, Mr. Zelensky, our president, he just spoke to the press on the conference that they were trying to attack the Chernobyl nuclear power plant, and it was like a special plan in order to make the provocation and in order to for people to feel unsafe in the city.
That's something I was just wondering about. The nuclear power is important for Ukraine. I believe there are 12 or 13 nuclear power plants now. These need to be treated very carefully, and to have conflict going on around side. Is there what is the thoughts on the dangers that this might give to Ukraine, and are there fears that the Russians might try and attack those?
Well, I'm not the politician and I'm not the soldier either, but
in general conversation,
I'm concerned, they are. Yeah, emotion-wise, people are. Our nation is strong and we are feeling strong, but we haven't done anything wrong with Russia. We haven't even fought for any piece of their territory. We are on our land, and this is our territory, and we will fight, and we will stay strong for it. But what Mr. Putin's idea is to save Russian-speaking population. We are all Russian-speaking and Ukrainian-speaking. There is Orthodox, there's Muslims, there is all kinds of regions living in Ukraine. And we don't care about Russia anymore because we don't want to be in Russia. We want to be in a free country, and we want to have a secure land and without any war going on. And that's why I would like also to ask European community and the United States and NATO, please help us, because under the agreement of 1994 that was signed in Budapest, the pact that we got unarmed with the nuclear power bombs. In fact, this agreement doesn't work anymore. And that's why it is very important for us that the nations that were signing this agreement and this paper, they would also guarantee some kind of protection to our country.
In the last few weeks, we've seen a tremendous amount of diplomatic activity with leaders going from Germany to Moscow, from Paris to Moscow, from Washington to Moscow, and meeting elsewhere. So many different conversations, whether virtual meetings and so on. Do the Ukrainian people have confidence that the international community is doing enough to help them?
Well, in my personal view, there is fear from Germany, and there is fear in, let's say, France and Spain and Italy, and those countries that are not supporting totally 100%, like the United States, like Britain. They are supporting strongly our efforts and our desire and our willingness to stay strong and to protect our land. But what I see from the news right now and from the diplomatic news, there is a big propaganda going on in Germany because the Prime Minister, Chancellor of Germany, and the foreign minister of Germany, they said that they would not give any weapons or any arms to Ukraine in order for us to fight the Russian invasion.
Okay. Now, we're also hearing, though, that the Ukrainian people are very united, and of course, you've had years of expectations following the invasion of Crimea to anticipate this moment. Well, what, as ordinary citizens, what have people done to prepare for this day? How both physically and mentally have you prepared for what's coming?
When we have a bad situation like this, the war that's going on, because I just saw a few planes and helicopters in the sky just a few minutes ago. People are very united, and of course, in this situation, we're helping everybody, especially young children and women and elderly people to get out or for them to feel safe. And of course, there is a territorial security that we have also in the city right now, and it's organized in all the cities. But I'm not dealing with that right now at the moment. I'm just the civilian, so that's the only thing that I can say right now. But a lot of people are supporting each other, and we are also very connected and stay online and in every possible way.
Of course, as a civilian, you obviously need to find ways to protect yourselves. And we were hearing with the bombardments earlier this morning, people going into subway stations and to underground car parks. Is there a sense of community drawing together? As you mentioned, of course, as with any city, there are very people with young families and elderly people as well. Have people been thinking about how to rescue people to safety if airstrikes hit Kiev?
Well, to tell you the truth, nobody was believing that this would happen to us in Kiev because everybody was thinking that was the joke.
Right.
And a lot of, actually last week, all the high-rise buildings, the apartment complexes, they were starting to check the bomb shells in order for people to hide. Mm-hmm. And also right now, that's the subway, the metro stations that we have, and the basements of the high-rise buildings and apartment complexes, that bomb shells, that's the only places that people have to hide from the possible attacks from the missiles and from the rockets and from the bombs, in case any fly to us.
Well, Denis, we very much hope that that you won't need to run to safety, that there won't be any attacks. Although I'm seeing that there are forces at Antonov Air Base. There are reports that the Russians have taken that. What would you like to say to the international community? G7 is meeting right now. There are meetings with NATO and other groups. Can you hear me now? Have you got my sounds? I think we may have.
I lost the connection with you. I'm sorry.
Can you hear me, Denis? Can you hear me? Well. This is a live connection, so this was Denis Kish, who's a resident of Kiev, joining us just now and bringing us up to date with the latest situation in Kiev. Hopefully he and his family and friends will stay safe in the coming hours, days, weeks, and as long as possible.